Alright, this is it. Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, part 1. Welcome everyone, Sanju Chia here, and welcome back to the channel where today we'll be reacting, reviewing, giving our overall thoughts on the conclusion arc part 1 anime adaptation for Attack on Titan. And for the new subscribers that have subscribed over the last month or two, or even the last year, give or take, I'll be leaving a card up here to all the Attack on Titan videos I have on the channel. It'll contain my thoughts and my reviews and all of that, for especially when the manga ended, my thoughts at the time. So just in case you want my general opinion on Attack on Titan and what I thought getting into it and all that jazz and blues, or at least I think that's what I did for those videos. Yeah, it is what it is. But yo, this has been a long time coming, and of course I know the memes of the final season, it's not really final and all of that, I'm gonna have to wait until later in the year. But it is what it is. I've been hearing nothing but good things about this 1 hour special. I mean, speaking of that, the whole Crunchyroll mess of splitting the episode into 3 parts, so that's it's ridiculous if you ask me, but it is what it is. So yo, I just got home from work, so let's do this. Rumbling. Attack on Titan, final season, part 3. Let's get into it. Alright, here we go. Welcome back, Eren. Welcome back, Eren. That's interesting. Welcome back, Eren. Listen, I know AoE the AoE Akatsuki no Requiem theorists are losing their minds just from those first few seconds already. But it's interesting, it's welcome back. Manga readers know it was see you later. I'm just saying. Part 1. The rumbling. Chano, rough Halil. Use them to try and make a better future. Ooh. Chano, Ramses are good youths, honestly. Rumbling, rumbling. Footsteps of doom. Eren coming to terms with what he has to do. This would have been after they left that whole conference they had. Ooh. I really like this angle right here, like it just looks, I don't know, the framing. Yet you still save him. The future happens because it's just what the characters want. Ooh. But that's not all. Why the money now? Go see if you know, brother. Yo, the music in the scene. Yo, alright. This is the scene I'm really interested in seeing how anime onlys react to, because it's the scene, even though a lot of persons paint it as, Eren had no choice to do what he did. This is the scene that paints Eren in a more nuanced way, that it's not, oh, I had no choice. He's not completely good, He wanted to trample the outside world, and even though he tried exploring alternatives and tried to come to terms like, am I really going to do this? at his core, his very nature, in terms of striving for freedom, he wanted to eliminate the whole world, essentially. And it's really and truly this scene that really, I feel, hits the nail in the coffin of, yo, it's not as black and white as I had no choice or I really just wanted to wipe out the world. It's very nuanced. It's on a very wide scale, essentially. So this scene just essentially paints Eren as not the 100% good persons might be painting him as. You know, he wanted to do this. Yo. Bruh. And the voice actor is just killing it, bro. Almost feel like I get teary-eyed. Why everything just wiped out just like that? This is the next thing too. The persons that are in prison. Ooh. Bruh. And the Titans look really good, but Mom's yo! Come out of the way, fam! To be honest, I've always looked at these scenes in the manga and really wish that when it came onto the anime, like for the persons who are pro rumbling, I hope this makes them feel really confused, honestly. It's like, I hope they look at this scene and say, yo, he had no choice. That's my argument, but I wanted him to do this, but is this what I really wanted, you know? Yo. Yog. The freest person in this world. Yo! The freedom scene! Jesus, peace. Ooh. Listen. Chef's kiss. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Freedom, bro. Let's catch up with your girl. So by the way, I ate Bertholtz. Yes, Armin, why didn't you go for the other girls, fam? It's because what? What? Woo! Yes! More birds. Hey. Yeah, still on our side of the wall that we know nothing of. It's very symbolic because even though the walls and parody are no more, it kind of feels like, I mean, and even though the rumbling's happening right now, it still feels like symbolically or metaphorically, so to speak, the Eldians are still trapped within a cage. And there's still a section beyond that, you know, that metaphoric or symbolic wall that they still need to overcome. So that's essentially what Armin is saying. Even though Annie's painting that, you know, outside the walls right now, it's not good, but you get the point. Jano, Falco just losing it, fam. で。
いつの間に何がそう何が
Yes, sir.
分かってる
I love that exchange between Mikasa and Annie
それ
there.
であんたはどうしたいよまだ寝てなきゃ
まだ寝てろだと
The General Levi.
世
Ooh.
界連合艦隊がパラディ島制圧の地ジークと接触して始祖の巨人
Again, this is what? This is 6 months before the scouts even went to Liberia. So just bear that in mind. Before the declaration of war, before what else again? Before Eren even, saw, the whole conference and everything. So
を
yeah.
手中に収め地ならしを限定的に
Alright, Levi, rough, bro.
2本も指がありゃ十分だ問題ねえ謝ることすら起こ
I mean, it's hard to say, Ryan. I mean, who knows what Marley would have done if you guys really turned around and went back. I mean, it's hard to say what would have happened to their families, really and truly. So that's the thing at the end of the day. It's just a shitty situation for everybody. Ah.
ガビとファルコを頼んだ
ピーク
ぜひ今度車力の巨人の背中に乗ってその体温を感じな嫌です
Angie, just calm down, calm
急
down.
に気持ち悪い
I'm not sure about that one, Hanji. It's the Great Flock. Yeah.
まさか船にしがみつい
Man
て
just
ここまで
determined, brother.
燃料タンクになんとか1時間ね
An hour? Don't have that much time, fam.
食べてもいつの日かって
Well, Flock died fighting for what he believed in. That's the good part. Oh wait,
ダメに決まってるだろ
really right now.
巨人の力はもう一切消耗させるわけにはいかないみんなをここまでアルミン・アルレルト
Mm-hmm.
君を15代調査兵団団長に任命するというわけだじゃあねみんなああリヴァイは君の下っ端だからこき使ってやってくれ
Oh my god. Well, here we go. Big moment for real.
最高にカッコつけたい気分なんだよこのまま行かせてくれ
Why, Levi's lost so much, fam, honestly. Shinzo Sasageo. Dog!
やっぱり巨人って素晴らしい
Oh my god, Hanji to the bitter end. Yo! It's looking clean, bro. Oh, Mappa going in! And the music choice, bro. Oh, wow. Bro! Dog! Stop it! Yeah. Bro, they blading! Dog. Bro, it's just Levi just sitting there for me, dog. The man just
じゃあなハンジ
which part me there?
飛行艇は
飛び立ったよ
Hey, hey.
ハンジ
命されて大変だったよエレンのバカがさ
ああ大変だったなゆっくり聞くよ
Ooh, that's a nice shot.
エレンがどこにいるかわからない
When in doubt, aim for the head.
わからなくてもまとめて吹き飛ばすことはできる最終手段だ
Just blew up the boy, brother.
最終
This
手段
talking
は
thing.
俺はサムエルとダ
Like
スを撃ち殺して
man, not even
知ってる
can
顔をめちゃくちゃに切り刻んだ
imagine it, brother. Like
裏切り者って言われ
killing people you grew up with.
世界を救うためだって
Shano.
いい気持ちだライナ
Everybody's saying we're the same as Reiner now. Apparently, it's cool to be the same as Reiner now.
資格なんてなかった俺たちに止めてほしいんじゃないのか
Mm.
どういうこと
誰かに
Ooh. Foreshadowing.
またかよこれは今ならケツに蹴り入れるだけで勘弁して
Levi.
おいなんとか地ならしは止まらない
Not stop the rumbling.
パラディ島の未来を運に任せて放棄することもない俺は進み続ける
Keep moving forward. Simia. Mayban.
俺は自由
In
を
my
手に
own
入れるため
hands.
世界から自由を奪う
Ooh, wait, hold on.
お前らからは何も奪わない
Oh, wait, hold on. This looks new.
お前たちは自由だ
Who are these characters?
お前らが
Oh.
世界の自由を
Oh.
守るのも自由ことはただ
You know, it's interesting. Like, okay, I'm a manga reader, so I know what this is. Granted, for the AOE theorists, Akatsuki no Requiem theorists, you know, possibility of that happening. But in the event that this really and truly does end like the manga, trying to discuss this with you guys from an anime only perspective. Don't you find it interesting, right? Even though Eren supposedly freed Ymir, and the big indication of her freedom and her doing what she wanted to do was us, the audience, being able to finally see her eyes. Yet we're rolling that back, and we're at the point where we can't see her eyes anymore. Well, again, and it's the same for Eren. So symbolically speaking, based on the narrative Isayama was trying to, you know, say at this point, is Eren really free? I'm just saying.
止めたいのなら俺の
There
意
it
志のように
is.
止めてみろ
一族の利益と家名を守ることを何よりの務めとして
This section is called sinners. Everybody's just taking accountability and owning up to their, you know, their mistakes and what they've
ど
done.
うして失う前に
そんな感じがするんです
Yes, ma'am.
おいあれそんな
Keep them to cuttings, brother.
急げ
What? Wait. I think they've cut out a scene. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, they've definitely. To me, it feels like they've definitely cut out some of the rumbling to me. I'm gonna have to check after finish reacting to this.
行くぞ
Because there's supposed to be a scene with more people on a cliff and like in England and rural Japan, I would think. and there should be a scene of like people falling off a cliff and all of that. Alright, let's see. This man be spitting facts though. Spitting complete facts. Maybe if you create a culture of hatred, then I mean, an eye for an eye will only go so far, you know, I'm just saying. Bro, no. Look at that face. And it's at that moment she realized that shit, I'm no better. Ooh. Bro, no, stop hesitating. Ooh. Loving the colors here, fam. Bro, tell me. No. Tell me this is something straight out of hell, brother. You can imagine seeing this in real life? Ooh. Using that Warhammer Titan abilities. Ooh, yo! That's a shot from your nightmares, fam. Yes, sir! Here we go! The cliffhanger moment as expected. Woohoo! I just love these shots of the plane. It just looks really good to me. Let's go! Wait, hold on. That far out shot of the beast. The beast just looks weird. Like it's like everything else is at like 720p, and at the beast eye right here is like at what 240 or so. It just looks weird to me. Let's go! Woohoo! This is it! Yo, listen to me. For the next part, for the Battle of Heaven and Earth, this is going to be wild, dog. Woohoo! Alright, Anyakapon, this is it. Ooh. Well, you at where have you been? Oh my lord. I'm not gonna lie. The big concern was like after the rumbling, what was it would be the next AOT song, but this next song by Sim, Under the Tree? Why, oh, why? Woo! More birds. Are you giving up on me? Under the tree. Under the... Alright, so especially based on the teaser, I think that's out for the next part now. I guess it's just safe to just call this Attack on Titan the final season just part 3. Because based on the teaser, I think that's out. I think they're just officially calling the next part part 4. But whatever the case may be. But that's it. Attack on Titan the final season part 3, part 1. Honestly, amazing episode, amazing special, awesome. But I'm not gonna lie, I think coming out of this episode, or this special, whatever you want to call it, I think I can see and understand more why they wanted to put off the next section of this, well, the season for later on in the year. Because again, as a manga reader, the Battle of Heaven and Earth, I know, very fancy title. it's going to be the most action heavy section of this whole conclusion arc. So I can see and understand why they'd probably want more time to, like, smooth out, ensure that the animation, choreography, and everything when it comes on to that final fight is going to be top notch. So I can definitely understand where they're coming from. Granted, I still have the theory that maybe the stakeholders when it comes on to this wanted to release everything here in March, but maybe the consensus, maybe the compromise was probably the persons at Mappa maybe said to the stakeholders like, yo, we can't handle releasing everything one time, but at least to meet your investment or your interest, we can release an hour of it and then call it a day. So that's pretty much my educated theory there when it comes on to the production side of things. No, this episode amazing. Like the listen, animation, like ooh, music, just the direction of the scene, yo, it was just amazing, fam. Like obviously I didn't like bawl my eyes out, but like I could feel myself like, yo, is this like a tear coming to my eye? So I definitely thought, like, when it comes on to the music, the characters, and everything that was said, the dialogue, the combination of all the factors that stem from this production just really helped to hit those emotional notes at this whole climax of the story, I would say. So an amazing outing when it comes on to AOT here. Now, of course, I'm not gonna lie, I'll get to the negatives eventually. Eren, yo, this section of the story is so important, and in my opinion, I think, and I was saying it in the reaction section, is that this section is so important because it really helps to paint Eren in, like, even more so in that gray area, because I personally feel that persons have painted Eren, especially anime only watchers, they've painted him in this corner for the longest while that he had no choice. And even if they're painting him as, a person had no choice but to do the rumbling, it's like Eren himself is not a 100% good person. It's not like a complete case of, oh, I had no choice but to do this. But the fact that he said when he found out that humanity was outside the walls, he was disappointed. I mean, he does admit that it's for his friends, it's for the island, it's all that. So it's not really as black and white as that. But I really appreciate that scene because honestly, it kind of paints that picture at the end of the day that us here in real life, we're not 100% good, we're not 100% bad. There's lots of gray, and I think that persons can empathize and sympathize with that at the end of the day, and I think it makes the story feel that much more powerful. And honestly, even the voice actor, they really, he sold it in that scene of him just apologizing to Ramsey, honestly speaking. So that was awesome. And of course throughout this episode, a lot is showcased when it comes on, or at least reminded to us, the audience, when it comes on to Eren's character. Things of, he kind of tried reasoning it out that, less people die on the island, but he can't accept that. Themes of him, if they try to take my freedom, I'll take theirs, before anything else. Him kind of sticking to his convictions, essentially. And of course, the whole bit of him trying to test the future memories if things change. And I think it kind of comes down to, like, when it comes on to the Attack on Titan world, or at least when it comes on to the Attack Titan and this whole future, and if the future can be changed, it feels like it comes down to the future can't be changed. But not because it can't be changed, bear with me, but just because it's in the nature of what the characters want at the end of the day. It's kind of like this whole nature versus nurture type of situation that I think it's coming out of this. And I love it. It's really good. It's really good. At the core of his being, Eren can't accept the fate of, him dying and, leaving the island to die versus the outside world. He can't get around his convictions of what freedom should be, essentially. And even when he was talking or flashing back about, ever since he was young and the walls and everything, and the person who would see all those things outside the wall would be the most free. And I think this episode really sells that whole, you got the freedom, but at what cost, fam? Like, you know, it's just it just does an awesome job of really painting that gray area for us, the audience, honestly. And I was saying to the review or the reaction that, yo, even the persons who wanted the rumbling, like, you wanted it, but is this it? Is this really it? And this kind of leads me into my negatives, because when it comes from it's like coming out this episode, it's awesome, it's an amazing episode, but it made me feel all the more that they should have just waited until the fall or the end of the year to release everything at once. Because even though the scenes with the rumbling was gruesome and really showed the brutality of it, even though it was censored just a bit, especially with Ramsey and his friend there, but it still, you know, got the message across. But the point I'm trying to make is that coming from the manga to the anime, they left out some scenes of the rumbling, honestly. And I think persons, even though they might be satisfied with it, I think when they go back to the manga, they'll retroactively feel a bit disappointed, because we didn't get all of the rumbling scenes from the manga translated into the anime. There was supposed to be more, and I think that's where my disappointment with this comes from, because especially with how the production for this has gone, where persons have had to, you know, part 1 wait a year, part 2 wait a year, part 3 you still have to wait more time. I personally think persons, as a manga reader, and no, just recalling all the scenes of the rumbling in the manga, I personally believe persons are going to be disappointed, if not at all, probably slightly, or if they even learn about that there was more scenes to be seen of the rumbling, they'll retroactively or retrospectively be disappointed. I think the brutality of it could have been showcased much more with the scenes that they took out. You know, it would add to that feeling of the audience or the watcher, the person who was watching the episode, questioning it a bit more. Because there was even a scene in the manga of them holding up a baby and the Titans are just coming, you know? So I'm kind of disappointed with that. And it makes me feel that, yo, they should have just waited until later on in the year and just release everything one time, because it feels like they had to cut that out for the sake of time. Or I don't know if when this comes out on Blu-ray they'll add those additional scenes. I don't know, but until further notice, that's my stance on it. That's like one of my only negatives, I will say. Off the top of my head, I can't recall if anything else was drastically removed. Everything else kind of seemed one-to-one for the most part. So yeah, but that aside, in terms of the animation, Hanji, woo. Like, I knew it was coming down, but it was much better than I thought it would have been, in terms of her going up against the colossal titans and dedicating her heart, you know, Shinzo Sasage, honestly. And it's just the character acting in that moment and the music choice, honestly. You could just feel the viscerality of it. You know, you could just feel the sense of loss and dread that was in that moment as Hanji, you know, went up to stall time for them to really come and, you know, take off, honestly. Yeah, it was just amazing. And jeez, I mean, seeing Eren again was good, not gonna lie. But that scene was amazing, fam. Her just going from Titan to Titan, you know, throwing the Thunder Spears, run out of Thunder Spears, and you have to cut yo, that was amazing. Not gonna lie. And as anime only watchers, if you're watching this, again, I just have to go back to even the sinner section, part 2, when all the characters really just taking accountability of their actions and, you know, not being hypocritical of the whole situation. You know, it kind of feels like all these characters have been on this journey and they've really come full circle in terms of understanding each other. And I think even though if you're an Alliance supporter, it's like I like to look at the nuance of things. It's like, yeah, even though they don't have a concrete plan, a concrete alternative as it seems right now, and even right now the situation would be like even worse if they even manage to stop the rumbling, because the perception of Eldians now would get even worse, honestly. So it's like, yeah, even though they don't have an alternative, the fact that all these characters who were once trying to kill each other are now working together and having an understanding, they're on the same page, as they were saying in the sinner section, we're all the same. It's like, it kind of gives you that that sense of hope for the future, I would say, in terms of the possibilities. Like real life, nothing's really certain. Like me here on YouTube, I recently hit 1,000 1,000 videos, and it's like there's still no guarantee if I even do 1,000 more or 2,000 more that I'll really get the success that I want. But there's still a hope. I continue to experiment and try. And I mean, that might be like a weird comparison, comparing this world-shattering, world-ending kind of situation with success on YouTube. But I think you guys get what I mean. So that's the thing. It kind of feels like it gives you that sense of hope at the end of the tunnel, no matter how this ends. So yeah, I can appreciate that, even though they don't have a concrete alternative or solution to the situation as it stands right now. And that brings us to Eren, who says he doesn't want to leave the whole situation to luck. He will keep moving forward. And it's interesting because I think a lot of persons were thinking this anime only, that Eren could have just stopped their Titan powers, cut them off, but he says he doesn't want to take away their freedom. And that kind of says, I mean, even though they could potentially stop the rumbling, is like, yo, he doesn't want to take their freedom, that conviction. I mean, as a manga reader, I'm trying to kind of go around this here, but I think the interesting thing in all of that scene there is what I said in the reaction, that the symbolism that's there between Eren and Ymir, where before we thought Eren quote unquote freed Ymir. And it was kind of symbolic in the fact that we could see her eyes after Eren gave her the talk and convinced her. But now it's like we're back to square one with Ymir, but also Eren. So that what does that say about Eren and his freedom, essentially? Is he truly free? And I think if you look into it, it makes sense. You have to be questioning it there. So yeah, like, whew. Amazing episode, honestly. Amazing. And for the AoE persons here, the AoE, the Akatsuki no Requiem, the anime original ending theorists who might bump into this video, it's like I don't know if these subs are 100% accurate, but the fact that Mikasa said welcome back in the beginning there, I don't know, that seems a bit odd, because it's like there's now 3 different versions of that scene, if that dialogue that I saw is correct. In the manga version of this, we had Eren have a dream with Mikasa saying, "See you later, Eren." In the anime, in episode 1, we saw Eren have this weird dream and he woke up while he was laying back on the grass. And now we have this next version of it where she says, "Welcome back, Eren." So I don't know. Listen, as a manga reader, I've said before, I'd be alright with them doing the manga ending and just expounding on things a bit more. But I don't know. The more AoE stuff I watch, I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that looks suspicious. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. And honestly, yo, what's more to say? This was awesome. So overall, animation, choreography, art, music, they've all blended together to really sell the sense of dread and despair that the rumbling is and the situation the characters are in. And of course, the subtle, storytelling tidbits here when it comes on to the characters and their developments up to this point and the symbolism that's there. But at the same time, coming out of this episode kind of solidifying that they should have waited until the end of the year to really sell and put out everything as one movie or special. I think at the end of the day, this is easily a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 episode, honestly. At the very least. I'm tempted to give it 10 out of 10, but it's like, the additional scenes with the rumbling should have been there, is all I'm saying. If it comes out in the Blu-ray, then fine, but whew. Anyway, Sanjay Uchiha, let me know what you guys thought about my thoughts on this 1 hour special of Attack on Titan. I think I've rambled on long enough. This might be the longest video I've done in a while, outside of like live streams, of course. So of course, leave a like, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Yo, under the tree, love it. Ugh. The wait is on until part 2. Or the final. The Battle of Heaven and Earth. Sanjay Chia, I'll see you guys in the next Shingeki no Kyojin.